Welcome back, everybody, to the Houston Texans Madden 21 franchise rebuild. It's time for yet another offseason as we've completed 6 years now in this franchise. And what's the best we've done? 8-8. We're coming off our best season of the series, I'd say. I know we made the playoffs back in the first year and then immediately lost to the Ravens. I thought this was more enjoyable. To see us win 5 games in a row and to really show some potential with a lot of these young players. We had so many impact rookies, but at the end of the day, we still could not finish the job. We couldn't even make it to the postseason. We're playing in this expanded field as well, like 7 teams in each conference, and we still have only made it 1 out of 6 years to the playoffs. No winning seasons. And still questions as to how we get to the point where we're actually a legitimate playoff team. Now, I feel like we have a playoff caliber defense. It's finally come together with the breakouts of Jabari Carr, Stephon Ferris, Cordell Hillhouse, and Allen Beverly join as rookies, and they help transform the defense into one of the most dominant pass rushing units in the league. I think we have a really good defense. I like it a lot. But I still think that we have to look at who we want to sign long term. I know Justin Reed's a free agent right now, and we're going to have more chances today to get better. The offense is where we have to do that primarily. I think that an upgrade at guard is definitely going to be something we target today. And then, of course, the quarterback position. What do we do? Jordan Love is under contract for 1 more season, and this year simply was not good for him. So we're going to be hopefully drafting a quarterback today. The issue there is that there are a lot of teams ahead of us that could need a quarterback, and we have to move up. Now, we have the draft capital to do that, but what's the cost to move from 14 to potentially the top 3? We are in essentially the same situation San Francisco is in real life. Picking at 14, weren't they at 14 or something? And they traded up as much as they could to get up to 3. And I'm here wondering if 3 is high enough. In real life, the 49ers are going to probably take the 3rd quarterback. There are only 2 quarterbacks I'm interested in this class. And if they go 1 and 2, we have to make sure we're one of those 2. I do have high hopes for this team going forward, but I also have, recorded 50 episodes now in the series, and I know that nothing has come easy for this team. So, with a rookie quarterback maybe playing this year, I am not going to guarantee that things are going to be all of a sudden fixed. We go 11-5, win the division, compete for a first-round bye. I don't know yet what to expect, but I'm hoping to add a quarterback today. Now, free agency is a possibility. You just don't normally see free agent quarterbacks available. There are some rare cases, but I don't really think that if there's a 33-year-old starting caliber quarterback that I'm even all that interested. We have the picks to go and try to find the quarterback of the future, and we have to approach this offseason to do that. So if we were going to sign somebody, they're going to have to be, I think, 27 or younger. Jordan Love's already 28, and we know how regression goes in Madden. In real life, I mean, you can add a 32-year-old franchise quarterback and probably be good for a while, but it's tougher in Madden. So let's begin here with the free agents from our team. We have Justin Reed, Kerry Borden, Andrew McCoy, Jeremiah Brown. A lot of key players there, but I'm probably moving on from most of them. And should we still have a lot of picks in this draft, I have no idea what it's going to take to trade up. But we just basically have to pay whatever the cost is. Like, you can only give up 3 picks in a trade? There's a scenario I could see where we have to give up 3 picks to get up to like 8, and then more picks to get up to like 2. We might have to do something like that. I don't know. 14-2, 14-1. I don't normally try to trade that high. Wow, the demand is way down for Justin Reed. He wanted almost double the money before, but that's why you wait for regression and a new contract demand. Like, this is pretty reasonable. 9.4 signing bonus. We're going to be letting Kerry Borden go. We're going to be letting Andrew McCoy go. And I'm probably going to want to re-sign Jake Bailey. I could probably wait till free agency just to see if there are any other options. We're going to let Jeremiah Brown go. Rodrigo Blankenship is a free agent. He wants $4 million. Do we have regression for him? 93 power, 81 accuracy. I talked in a previous episode about giving Reed that franchise tag, but that would be probably like $12 million or something. So we're definitely not wanting that. At $6 a year, I'm pretty okay with this offer. We can always, trade or release if things don't work out. But there's enough upside here in signing him, I think. But 4 years is a little bit more than I would like. I just think that free agency could get this to be way more competitive. And it looks like we're going to be going to free agency with him anyway. The tag's 13.6, absolutely not. So, honestly, I think I'm done. I don't think I want to sign anybody right now. Maybe once we get to free agency, like I'd still consider the specialists and Ben Williamson probably, Solomon Haywood. This is actually not a bad deal, and I like Haywood as a backup, but he's 28 years old. We'll probably just not sign anybody then. I think literally everybody here is going to be a free agent. Spearman, though, yeah, we should probably sign him. He's good depth. We have $65 million in cap space, and that can go away pretty quickly if we find some really good free agents. So that's why I'm not giving a lot of offers, and I'm just not able to get deals done anyway. So a lot of free agents set to hit the market. This leaves us right now with a 43-man roster, and we have a lot of young players. So if there are some really good free agents, we can definitely try to target somebody, whether it's a high-quality corner. We could probably look at a coverage linebacker. I don't think we will. And then for offense, mostly offensive line. I like the playmakers, but I wouldn't rule out a second running back. Manny Grubbs did have his regression here. So that's another dynamic to think about with these lower-rated running backs that have decent devs, is that they might not play well enough to keep the development. Overall, I like development regression. I think it should be a thing. And in the cases we've seen it happen to our team, I think it's made sense, both with the situation with Grubbs and Jabari Carr. Although I think the way Carr played this year, he should have re-earned Superstar. So what can you do with $67 million this year? Jair Alexander. I think the whole league is interested, including me. Vita Vea, Justin Johnson, Jamal Adams. See, this is why I've done what I've done with the XP sliders. There's a lot of stuff you can do here. We could move Jabril Peppers to running back. We could try that again. Could Jabril Peppers go back to running back like in my Cleveland Browns rebuild? Throwback to my first rebuild franchise on the channel. Probably not. 8 teams interested in Justin Reed. Nobody showing interest yet in Kerry Borden. Alright, where do we begin? At quarterback, it's Dak Prescott as the only starting caliber option. He's 34 years old, and it's not time to make a move like that. He'd be an upgrade over Jordan Love, but we need to spend our picks on finding a young quarterback. At running back, Dom Ross, Antonio Gibson, Ramon Towns. There are some options if we want a different RB2. Offensive line is a priority. At guard, David Edwards, Ben Williamson, Garrett Bradbury. At center, Ryan Kelly, Andrew McCoy. So an upgrade in free agency doesn't really seem all that likely. You could always sign one of these tackles and play guard, but at 85 overall, changing their position as a temporary move, is that even worth it? I think we'd be better off just drafting somebody there and then bringing back somebody. I will say though, with offensive line, you have to look a lot further than just the overall, because they might have a couple skills that are super low, or they could have a super balanced skill set. Like, we've seen what you get out of more imbalanced attributes, like with McCoy and McMullen. So I think I'd be more interested in maybe a one-year deal for somebody like Shaq Mason, who doesn't have a glaring weakness. I'm interested in Ben Williamson as depth. I do want to make this a smaller offer though. I just think that he's been pretty solid when he's gotten a chance to play. That's only 60 points. And I think I like a one-year offer here for Shaq Mason. With Andrew McCoy, he had more strength, but everything else is all over the place. Mason has less strength, but everything else is pretty decent. Plus, he has good athleticism for getting into the second level. And I'd like to get this contract accepted without more teams getting interested, so a boost to 7.2 seems very fair. In the secondary now, do we try to make something happen with Justin Reed? Jamal Adams is also an option. Jabril Peppers is an option. Ronnie Harrison as well. I think I'd start with Justin Reed when I know a player and I know what to expect from them that has a lot of value. And I'll just try to make a super competitive 2-year deal. So the tag was like $12 million. This might end up being kind of a big contract, but it's not going to be super ridiculous or anything. I'm probably just going to go a little bit over Kansas City's offer because it's going to be a pretty sizable contract for 2 years. And if he wants to go somewhere else, I'm okay with that. And then, do we try to make a move here for Jair Alexander? We have the cap space, and there is no argument for not doing it. We could add a true shutdown corner to our defense, and that would be so much fun. Our defense would have a chance, I think, to be top 5 next year. So, this is a lot of money. $20 million at corner. Who's the highest paid right now? It's got to be Ramsey, but what's he making? Yeah, Ramsey's getting 20 a year. He has a $100 million contract. Okay. One thing Madden doesn't do that well is, like, inflation. Like, we're 7 years into the future. Top corners should be making, like, probably 25. Like, the salary cap needs to inflate, and contracts as a whole need to inflate. I like to see that. But $20 million here for a 99 overall. I better make sure I have that cornerback package purchased. We do. I have pretty much all of these. I haven't bought these because I don't think I'll need to sign a quarterback or a receiver anytime soon. Kicker and punter, I don't think I'll have as much competition trying to sign them, so I don't think that's worth it. And we'll definitely want this training boost here. I should have already had that one. You can make an argument that we could also go after like Vita Vea for a year, but I don't want to take snaps away from Hillhouse. He looks so good. He won Rookie of the Year. So with a long-term view there, you gotta let him play as much as possible. If things don't work out with Justin Reed, I do think Tevin Tyson can play some free safety, but coverage is 77, awareness is 70, so I probably still want him to play strong safety. He'll play a little less deep safety in that role in our defense. So we're probably a year or two away from him really being a top tier free safety, potentially. So that's why I'd still like to have a good, like, center fielder, basically. 80 zone coverage, 84 awareness with Reed. Well, we didn't check out linebacker, but not a lot of high-rated players available who are pass coverage specialists. Phillip Harden would be an option. 86 zone. Where's man coverage at here? 76. Phillip Harden. Kind of interested. First, I think we can put Khaleke Hudson on the trade block. His role is now basically a 2-down linebacker. Reiner's coverage is only 79 zone with 68 man. And then Joe Jackson has 81 zone, 59 man. And we know now that low 80s zone at linebacker isn't special. And it really puts us at a disadvantage in man coverage. I guess one thing I'm interested in is like a safety playing some linebacker. There are some hybrid options. Like, could Jabril Peppers play weak side linebacker and coverage linebacker? 79 zone, 81 man. So you get the boost to man coverage, but I think I'd also want some good zone coverage there. How about TJ Madden? 5'10", 224. That's weak side linebacker size, I'd say, but his zone is only at 72 with a morale negative right now. 88 man coverage though. Looks like Blankenship is still the best kicker available. We'll give him an offer then. $4 million. And for punter, Bailey wasn't quite as good last year as I was hoping, but I think he's the best option. That leaves us with $22 million, and we put out some really good offers already. We could still consider a running back to pair with Robert Penn. It's good to have depth there. For now, we won't make a move there. There's also a chance we could add another running back in the draft. But let's go ahead now. I put out some very good offers, I think. Is Jaire Alexander coming to Houston? I really liked him in the draft, and then he went to the Packers. Do we get Jaire Alexander? Rejected by Justin Reed, accepted by Shaq Mason, and rejected by Jaire Alexander. $20 million turned down. So we do have a new starting guard, but now we need a new plan at safety. Alexander took less to go to the Bears. I mean, what can I do there? Vita Vea to the Ravens. Jamal Adams is going with him. Dak Prescott to the Patriots. No, I don't want to ever see Stephon Diggs play for Green Bay. Justin Reed going to KC. Grady Jarrett to Minnesota. That's what I'm talking about. Finally get that Kevin Williams replacement. So we're not done then in free agency. $50 million in space. I have no clue what we could even do with this. Justin Johnson, 94 overall superstar. We don't really need him, but he's there. 22 teams now interested in Jabril Peppers. What are we doing at safety? Peppers, Madden, or a rookie? That looks to be the only thing we can do there. So I think I want to offer then to Jabril Peppers. That's 95 points, 21st. Oh man, there's no way you get a deal done here without 3 years, I think. So that gets us to third. Do I want to go 3 years, 26? I'd have to get to at least $10 million a season. We have no free safeties on the roster and one strong safety. It's Tevin Tyson. That is literally it. So we gotta sign at least one player. And as we plan for the future, remember we have some big deals coming up, okay? This next year is Stephon Ferris, Marquise Brown, Brendan McMullen. There's Amari Jones, Robert Bullard. So we can't just spend all this money on like long-term contracts, or we're going to have to let a lot of these players go. I know I'm going to want to re-sign Amari Jones, and Ferris has been excellent. I'd like to have Marquise Brown stay around too. All right, let's go to the draft. Let's check out the quarterbacks again. Number 1 and number 2, and this is why I think we have to trade all the way up. if we don't, we might not have a new quarterback at all. So we have Shadon Rosemond here from Louisville. 4.74 speed, that's plenty. Early first rounder. Great short accuracy, great medium accuracy. Looks like he should be the first pick potentially. Philadelphia is on the clock at number 1. And then you have Tony Westbrook, 4.72 speed. Late first round talent with great throw power, great throw on the run. He's got the scrambler archetype. Rosemond has field general. So they both have solid speed. Westbrook has a little bit more, and we know he's going to have some skills for throwing on the run and making dynamic plays. I would be shocked if we don't come out of this draft with a running back. There are a lot of options, and you can get second round talents maybe in the third round. This is a strong safety class, thankfully. There are at least 4 first round talents. Casey Hutchins, Justice Hilliard had a 7.5 combine. Man coverage, just destroyed the combine. Okay, that's a great option, but I don't see us making multiple first round picks this year. If we move up for a quarterback, where is our second pick going to be? We may have to take a second rounder or a third rounder and just play them. Steven Hines, very good combine here for a first round guard. But again, I'm starting to wonder if we're going to have a chance at any of these players. You'd like to have some second or third round options, and that's where Warren Elam could be an option, but I'm not sure if he'd be ready to start early on. We have Shaq Mason, so if you get competition there, if it's not an early pick, he's probably not going to play for a little while. Brandon Allison, with bench reps only at 29, I'd probably want to keep him at tackle over guard. So I don't know if he's as much of an option for us. Unfortunately, where we have needs, the offseason isn't really giving us convenient ways to fill those needs. That's nice. Sean Shepard here, a second round prospect with first round talent at safety. He just won't have blazing speed. 4.57 probably puts him in the high 80s. I'm kind of used to having like 90 plus speed safeties now in the plays they're able to make. Sure doesn't feel like the offseason is going how I wanted it to this point. Who's going to give an offer to Justin Johnson? He's 26, 6'4", 287, superstar dev. Do I have to bring in Justin Johnson? I have $50 million in cap space. I'll put out a 1-year offer. He can replace Kerry Borden and just play defensive tackle. Pretty much keep everything the same as it was a year ago. At safety, I don't really think I like TJ Madden as a fit with us. I like the man coverage. That's really good. But I don't think that would be his primary role. And his zone coverage isn't that good. He's not that fast. His tackling isn't great. I think that I'd rather play a rookie. Here's David Perkins. He's 27 years old, and he is a deep cover safety. 90 speed, 87 zone coverage. I like Tevin Tyson more as a fit at strong safety. Perkins, not as good as Justin Reed, but I think he could at least play that role. We'll probably bring in some safety competition, but on a 1-year deal, I'd like this move. The other thing we have to talk about is it time to trade up and try to get up to number 1 or number 2? Philadelphia is there. Let's see. You know, I like to keep stuff sim here. You know how I am about that. If there is a team in the top 2 and they have quarterback as a top need, I don't know if I can make that trade. I think I'd have to make an incredible offer of some sort. Let's just see. So we know Philly's picking number 1 again. They didn't take a quarterback last year, and they only have quarterback listed as their 4th most important need. So that tells me they're probably not taking a quarterback. They have 26-year-old Matt Taylor. and they're apparently happy sticking with him. 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. So I can, I think, justify a trade to 1. But can I justify a trade to 2? Falcons have quarterback as their third need. San Francisco, third. Bills at 3 don't want a quarterback. The Dolphins pick at 2. And they have Tua. Okay, so I think 1 or 2 works. I wonder what the value difference is here. So we're going to do a little experiment. This is how close 14 gets us to 2. Obviously, it won't be accepted. So that's the bar. It is under the U in value. There is kind of a significant difference there. Now we're under the E in more. So do we try to get up to 2 and still think we can take the top quarterback? I think that's the question. It'll take more to get up to 1. But potentially the Eagles could take quarterback. You know what? We can probably get this done a lot easier than I expected. So number 46 pretty much gets us there. And we have a pick at 40. It would probably let me make that trade. But I think out of realism here, this isn't even like the most realistic. I at least should have to give up this other first round pick. They're falling 13 spots. No one's doing that from 1 for a second round pick. So I think we should have to give up even more than this. You know what? We're just going to make this trade right here. I know I could do it for less, but I don't want the game to be that easy. This isn't even like the most realistic trade here, but it's a lot better. And it actually gives the Eagles some value for their first round pick. This is the offer. We're trading up to number 1. And that still leaves us with 2 second round picks and a way back into the first round. Plus a lot of late picks as well. So maybe you think I should have just given up, 40 there. It probably would have gotten the job done. I think that cheapens the series when the game lets you get away with stuff like that. Oh wow, we just got Justin Johnson, David Perkins, and Ben Williamson. Alright, we had the cap space to get it done. Justin Johnson coming to the Texans. What's his role going to be? I don't know exactly. We have Ferris, we have Richards, Justin Johnson, Allen Beverly, Jabari Carr, Cordell Hillhouse. I think he's going to play all over the place. Probably mostly at D tackle. And now if anybody were to get hurt, he can fill in. So the strongest part of our roster can handle an injury. Perkins gives us a starting caliber safety, and then Williamson is solid depth. And now 5th-year option time, Stephon Ferris. So we're not signing him this year, but a 5th-year option is basically like an equivalent to a year of like a big deal. Maybe not the biggest, but a pretty big deal nonetheless. So we're picking up Stephon Ferris's 5th-year option. Let's see how much that's worth. I'm going to guess he was a pretty high pick. I'm going to say 15 million. And it looks like we have 14.4. What that trade though showed is just like their draft valuing is very off in this game. If pick 40 can close the gap from 14 to 1, like it's such a steep drop off in value once you get out of like the top 20. I mean, like the greatest value is going to be at the highest level. So like there is a gap from 1 to 2 and from 2 to 3 and so on. When you're talking about 14 picks or 13 picks a space, it should take a lot to close that gap. And they could easily fix that. There just has to be a better way of valuing those picks. I'm not even sure the old Jimmy Johnson chart wouldn't be a better upgrade. I wouldn't mind Trevor Underwood as some extra depth, a good backup for Tevin Tyson. We are familiar with him. He started for us before. So let's get a deal done with him. And, oh, I didn't know Miami was even interested. We have the money to make this work, though. Underwood signs the 2-year contract. I had it at $7.5 million. And now one more stage of scouting. But now we're going to be picking number 1 this year. And we have 2 quarterback options. But we're going to be going with the early first round option. There's not really a lot of drama when you have an early first round talent compared to a late first round talent. Unless you think that the scrambling skills are valuable enough to close the gap from late first to early first. Roseman's also just 21 years old. By the way, there was a draft story. DJ Morris in college played receiver and corner at 6'4", 215, 4.4 speed, 26 bench reps. Yeah, it would be fun if we were in a position to draft him. I just hope he doesn't go anywhere where we're going to see him too often. You know, I'm wondering if we could do a little project on this team as well. What if we found an extremely athletic lineman and then moved them to tackle? That would be a lot of fun. I need to find like the fastest tackle. Fastest right tackle is Caleb Howard from Temple, who's 6'5", 316, ran a 4.87. Might be worth a 7th round pick. I am finding ways to make 7th round picks interesting. Javonte Neal ran a 4.89. He does have draftable talent. I don't think the speed gap there is going to be too much of a concern, so he's an option. We are on to the NFL draft now, preparing for the 7th year of the series. The offseason hasn't gone exactly how I had planned, but I do think that Shaq Mason could be a solid addition at guard. The offense will be having a new quarterback, and now the defense, we add in Justin Johnson to an already amazing defensive line. Oh, this is going to be fun. We made the move to go all the way up to number 1, and we know what we want to do with it. We are selecting a quarterback. Is it Shadon Roseman or Tony Westbrook? We are going to be selecting Shadon Roseman from Louisville as the new quarterback of the Houston Texans. Hidden development. They do call it a reach, 8th in true value. So there are 7 more players that have early first round talent and should be better. But we had to add the right quarterback. We had to make a move here. And now Roseman at 76 will step in. He does not have the strongest arm, but he does have good accuracy. He does have, you know, mid to high 70s, everything there, 80 speed. And I think that he was the best quarterback in this class. So I'm interested to see where the second quarterback goes. Westbrook was intriguing because he does have the speed and his arm is probably stronger. We will find out if we now have the right franchise quarterback. And now I might be interested in moving up, but not anytime soon, not up here. Dante Thompson is the next pick. He's going to the Miami Dolphins. For quarterback, I think that the Falcons are one of the first possibilities. Justice Hilliard, a safety's off the board. TJ Warner, a 68 overall guard. The early first round talents are still out there. Quincy Burnett is taken, another safety going to Atlanta. Bernard Searles going to the 49ers. Minnesota at 7 takes DJ Morris from Florida. That's an exciting pick. The Saints go Steven Hines. Cameron Clark to the Patriots. I thought we'd see the quarterbacks go early. That's why I wanted to move up. There were teams that needed quarterback. Where are they going to go? I can't believe this. Roy Miles off the board, an 80 overall running back to Green Bay. Keegan Hilton to Cleveland. Where are we going to see Westbrook go? Will it be late in the first round? Tampa Bay is an option. Second need is quarterback. Their starter right now is Cody McDonald at 80. But they still see quarterback as a need. The Colts, I think they already had a pick. Cowboys. Falcons. Like, I thought these teams would take quarterback early, and that's why I moved all the way up to 1. I did not want to miss. There are still some really intriguing players available, but I think that I want this draft to be a little bit more about depth. We traded up a lot in the previous draft, and I would like to have more picks, I think, in this one. I don't plan on doing any more trading up unless there's a specific situation. The Eagles take Roderick Fields here. They had a chance to take a quarterback twice. Could we even have a chance to take Westbrook if we wanted to? He has slipped out of the first round, and the Eagles just passed 3 times on him. The Dolphins go Jeremiah Galloway, Carlos Manning, Kevin Douglas, the running back, Carlos Vernon, I liked him, Calvin Stevenson, and we're on the clock. I can't believe it. I didn't think this was going to be a draft where quarterbacks slid down the board. Now, I imagine that we would have seen Roseman go. Here are the quarterbacks, though. A 78 overall puts you at 29. So there are teams that should be wanting a quarterback right now, and they're not taking them. I gotta say, it is extremely tempting to take both quarterbacks and let them compete. I don't know that any team has ever done that before, especially 2 early picks. Well, if we want to stay here, what else do we do? Do we take a running back? I don't think so. Benji Gentry at safety is a first-round talent. He has 4.4 speed. He's 6'4". He does have great cover skills. Dakota Lynch, Lance Sanford. And there are some first-round talents down here as well. Safety is really solid right here. But we also have a pick in 6 selections to make. Cole Penn is probably going to be the only early first-round option that is available, but I don't think that's the right move to make. Marcus Childs is a mid-first round talent, so he would be basically the second best available player from an overall standpoint. But I think I like other safeties more than him. This is pick 40 in the 2027 draft. If we want to move down, we could get to 51, pick up a 4 and a future 6. See, these trade offers have gotten a bit better. So it's surprising to me just the value of that Eagles trade we did earlier. I'm going to move down here with Indianapolis to 43 and pick up their 4th rounder next year. This is a little weird because it's an in-division trade, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And they go Benji Gentry. I liked him a lot. Okay. James Wiley, Colin Donnelly, and we're back on the clock again. 2 picks here very close together. You know, I did like Gentry more than Childs. He was probably going to be the pick if we stayed. The top 3 here for Shepard is solid. 4.57 speed. I think I already regret that trade. A 4th round pick, and now I'm not getting my favorite safety. I just was kind of playing the odds there. I didn't think they'd take him, but I should remember what this series is. But for Benji Gentry, I mean, I'm super excited for his Hall of Fame career to begin. I mean, that's probably where he's headed now. We're going to take Marcus Childs, the best available player in that case. He's out of Clemson. He has normal development. 6'2", 203, a run support safety at 85 speed. This does limit him really to being a box safety. 85 speed, 86 hit power. You could consider a move to linebacker, but I'm not even sure he'd be better there. I think I really screwed up that trade. I should have taken Benji Gentry and just stayed put. Here in the second round, again, Tony Westbrook. It's intriguing to take two quarterbacks. But here I think I'm going to take Kirk Martin. I wanted to add a linebacker, and he's the highest on my board. I know it's going to be a little bit of an overdraft here, but I do like him. I just wonder if he has enough cover skill. 70 overall. He has 66 zone and 63 man, so it's pretty low to start out. He'll basically be Joe Jackson's primary backup then. We'll start developing him. Thankfully right now we don't need a lot of starting caliber players, but I don't feel like I'm having a great offseason right now. I really wonder when Westbrook goes. He's probably going to go in the third round. That's when the game likes to take quarterbacks if they've fallen. So who has first pick of the third? Is Philadelphia going to get him? I mean, if they get him with their fourth pick, that would be the worst. Here we go. Round 3, pick 1. Tony Westbrook's going to Philadelphia. And I have to know how good he is. I really considered taking him as well. We're on the clock now. Third round, pick 10. I feel like I really need a good redemption pick somewhere in this draft. Who can I draft that could be a real game changer? A lot of running backs out there. I think I know who my favorite player on the board is right now for this spot. I have a lot of interest in Dante Fry adding a corner. I think here I'm just going to go with who I think has the best upside. I consider Dante Fry and Warren Elam. I just think that Fry has a much higher ceiling. Good play rack right away, catching, and 4.47 speed I think is plenty. Dante Fry has normal development, 70 overall, 91 speed. Coverage is going to need a lot of work, but he'll be the number 4 corner likely and get that development. Already has pretty good catching. Just got to develop him. At least we have a lot of good things going for us on this team, primarily on defense, because I don't feel like we're guaranteed to be a whole lot better. We have a big question mark now as to how quarterback plays out. I'm excited to see Roseman play. I was hoping for a bit more arm strength. I like, especially here in Madden 21 Next Gen, I think arm strength is pretty valuable. It's not necessarily a deal breaker, and it can get better. So if he plays at a high level, I mean, then nothing else really matters. But we haven't made a lot of upgrades for other spots. All right, Warren Elam is still there. I'm interested. There's also Jeremiah Joseph. I'd probably rather take Elam, and there are still running backs for now. And we're close to the 5th round, so we could always move up for a running back if we want to. We do have a couple 2nd round options. Pat Tiller from Clemson. I feel like half this draft class is from Clemson. And then undrafted prospect Marcus Gillislee from Alabama. 4.53, had a really good bench press. Tiller had a 4.55 and a solid bench press as well. Gillislee's a little bit younger. Tiller, though, has vision as an A- in his top 3. So I think you could take either one. We're going to select Warren Elam here with this selection, and it's a good value pick, but another normal development player. 339 pounds, 88 strength. That's solid to start out with, but he is definitely a project at guard. We have moved up into the 4th round, giving up one of our 5s, and we are now going to be selecting a running back. You know what? Actually, I don't want to take a running back right here. I forgot there was one player that I thought was really intriguing here. I want to select Jaden O'Neal because I'm interested in potentially moving him to linebacker, 6'2", 223, hybrid skills. He might have the coverage ability we're looking for as a linebacker. We're taking Jaden O'Neal. Hidden development. Oh, thank you. Wow. Yes. 84 speed, so definitely not playing safety. He's not even like fast for a linebacker, but we can develop him as a linebacker. And with hidden development, I'm excited to see what he could become. So happy to have at least one more hidden dev player. Rosemond obviously had hidden dev. We could check out the ratings for Westbrook, and he will be lower rated by 4 overall, and I still might like him more. But when we had 2 options, one was an early 1st round quarterback and one was a late, you know how important development is. And I mean, he was the #1 ranked prospect, early 1st round talent, everything, great top 3, good combine, and 21 years old. I was pretty much, 90% sure he was going to have hidden dev. So that's why I never really gave Westbrook as serious a consideration today. I felt like enough things there gave Rosemond the edge. I just really wonder if we took the right quarterback, and we're going to find out here very soon. We'll see if I can even take a running back here. So now we can take Marcus Gillislee. It's all about getting the best portfolio of players here. If we took a running back earlier, we weren't going to get the linebacker O'Neal. So now we can have O'Neal plus Gillislee from Alabama, normal development. 57 true talent, 90 speed, 80 break tackle, vision is 76. So he's probably RB4. And now on the clock here in the 6th round with 2 picks remaining, the draft board has 1 player left. Colin Mulligan from Northern Illinois with really good bench, B pluses all across the top 3, but he is 24 years old. Do we have enough offensive line depth? We have a lot of it. We kept Williamson. We've already drafted 1 player today. Do we want to bring in Colin Mulligan or take chances elsewhere? We have the 7th round to mess around with, so we're going to take Mulligan here. Let's take a player who's going to be a good value at this spot. 88 strength, 78 run block. I mean, a couple good ratings here. He does have low pass block finesse, low awareness, but he's intriguing. And now with our final pick, kind of interested in maybe getting somebody that could be a kick returner. Actually, I think that we're going to take somebody else. Joe Rogers from Auburn, 6'4", 226. He ran a 4.42. Good bench press at 22 reps. Joe Rogers is our last pick. He's a 60 overall wide receiver. Rogers has 91 speed. He has 77 catching, 76 catching traffic. Might be more of a practice squad player, but in the 7th round, I don't mind taking a player like Rogers. And that is going to do it for this draft, everybody. I don't feel like this offseason was my best, but if we end up with the right quarterback, that's the only thing that really matters. Shadon Rosemond, is he the right quarterback for us? Hidden development, the accuracies are really solid. I'm excited to see him play. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I don't think he's going to be scrambling around a ton. For traits, personality is leader, balanced style, sense of pressure is trigger happy, ideal forcing passes. We'll see what his play style is very soon. What number do we want to go with here? I kind of like number 2. 5, 6, 8. I kind of like number 2. And he's a right-handed quarterback too. But Philadelphia was able to trade down and take Tony Westbrook in the 3rd round. Their 4th pick. Normal development, okay. I thought that we'd have a very good chance of Roseman having a higher dev. Westbrook is at normal dev, 90 throw power, so it's not actually that much more. Like, the top 3 grades are all relative. So he had 8+ throw power relative to the rest of the class. 90 to 88. At that point, I mean, it's not a huge gap. Westbrook, though, does have better throw on the run. A little bit better speed. It's not even a lot better speed. So I feel a lot better now about the pick of Rosemond. Overall, with our draft class, I'm excited to see Rosemond, but I think I messed up when I let the Indianapolis Colts select linebacker or safety Benji Gentry. Normal dev, 91 speed, 74 zone coverage. I thought he would be a good fit for taking over the role that Reed played, and I already know that Childs is not good for that role. He's a box safety. You could even consider moving him to linebacker, but I don't think I will. Jaden O'Neal with hidden development is definitely intriguing. I will be moving him to linebacker. His speed is very similar to Childs, but I drafted O'Neal because I thought he could play linebacker. He's 225 pounds. And I think that's closer to like average for today's like outside linebackers, maybe not like Mike linebackers. But there are so many linebackers coming in who are like 215, 220 pounds. This is probably not going to be a great draft class for me, but if it gets us the right franchise quarterback, and this was absolutely the best move we could have made all offseason, is to end up with Rosemond as the new franchise quarterback. So let's see some other players now. Dante Thompson with number 2, 77 overall, normal development. He went to the Miami Dolphins. Good finesse rushing, solid athleticism, and a little strength there as well. Justice Hilliard, normal development, goes to Buffalo. TJ Warner at guard, normal development. Disappointing pick there to go 68 overall in the top 4. Quincy Burnett, normal development. Where are all the hidden dev players? Where was the second hidden dev player selected? Okay, DJ Morris. Pretty confident he was going to be really good. 93 speed, 82 catching, 85 spec catch, 80 release. I mean, Minnesota's got just an awesome playmaker here, but 84 injury is really, really low. If you watch my Broncos franchise, Stephen Kemp, who has been hurt and had to come out of 3 games in this season that we're in, that's not over, has 85 injury. So that's a big concern with DJ Morris. 3 out of the top 4 players were running back, and I didn't draft any of them. Kevin Douglas goes to Pittsburgh. I'm curious, Steeler fans, do you want a running back in the 1st round? Like, would you want to see the Steelers go with, like, Najee Harris in the 1st round? I just know that the offensive line is going to be in pretty tough shape, and I feel like O-line should be a pretty high priority for them. But they go with the running back here in the 2nd round to do pretty good. Roy Miles goes to Green Bay, hidden development. And Cole Penn, normal development to the Panthers. Rosemond has the highest awareness out of anybody in this whole class. So that is a big thing. You can't target like increasing awareness, but the more you get, the better. And he's number 1 in the whole draft class. And we'll compare him to Jordan Love here in a moment. Just going through ratings here. I like to see who stands out and if there are any surprises. It's also good to know like what's the best you could have done in a class for a specific rating. 85 catching here is number 1. Carlos Manning, a 68 overall, probably didn't get drafted super early, but he's the most sure-handed receiver. Route running, like you're not going to get into the 80s here for short route running. Jalen Wilson's number 1, he's at 67 overall. The highest route running in the entire class is Lucas Price, who also is the fastest player. 96 speed, 81 deep route running. That's a pretty exciting pick for Carolina. Best release, 81 for Jamal Bacon. Throw power. Okay, let's check this out. 94, but a 67 overall hidden dev quarterback. Wow. Where did the Falcons take Lucas Jones? 3rd round. Oh my. The accuracy gap is just enormous. Rosemond has like 5-year veteran accuracy for short and medium. Deep accuracy is best in class. So we got a very accurate quarterback. I just want to see like how he plays, obviously. Like how does he force passes? What chances does he take? Now for the quarterback comparison. Jordan Love is 7 years older than Shadon Rosemond. 6 overall points higher, a little bit faster, but Rosemond has the edge with acceleration, and I think you could argue that his combo here is better even with a little bit less speed. I think like when you're standing still in the pocket, what's important for evading a defender? Top speed or acceleration? I would have to think that acceleration and agility are a lot more important, and your change of direction, being able to take a hard angle quicker than somebody else. Awareness, he's already higher than Love. Okay. Throw power's lower by 5, but we found in this game that throw power can get better. I would like it to, because 88's a bit low, but if we get to 91, 92, all of a sudden those deep balls probably work. And also, if he's just a better quarterback, maybe he times his deep balls better, because the longer you wait, the more arm strength you need to hit a receiver in stride and not underthrow the football. So you have to compensate if you have a weaker arm by throwing it earlier. Maybe Rosemond does that with higher awareness. I don't know. Short accuracy better. Medium accuracy lower by 3. Deep accuracy lower by 5. Throw on the run lower by 5. That could definitely catch up. We'll probably have some improviser upgrades if he's the kind of quarterback that wants to take off. Like, how does he handle pressure? If he's not doing it much, then we don't do a lot of improviser upgrades. Throw under pressure. That one does have to get a lot better. I don't expect our offensive line to be top tier. Break sack, though, is a little bit better. And I know he wasn't an injury risk. Same injury. So overall, I mean, Rosemond has the edge in a lot of categories already. He hasn't even played it down. So I'm very excited to see him take the field and get his career underway. Now I'm going to add another running back. Undrafted, Steven Spadell is going to be signed out of Akron. Very good athlete, good change of direction. I just realized I never ended up taking that tackle. I think my draft board was empty though. Somebody drafted him. Here's an intriguing player. He's not a rookie, but Abdul Buckley from Ohio State is 6'3", with 93 speed, 74 zone coverage. So basically a big, fast, cover 3 boundary corner. I have a lot of interest. I have some interest here in an undrafted punter. Jimmy Young from Oregon has 93 power, 76 accuracy. Now, he's probably not as good as Jake Bailey right now, but what if we had him on the practice squad? I do think the awareness would have to come up, though. I think that's a big reason why punting is so inconsistent in this game. It appears Coach William Lindsley has left the building. He is not interested in me signing undrafted punters. That's probably a good sign to end the episode. Hope you enjoyed the video today. I don't think it was my best off-season. I did not get all the moves done I wanted. Thought I could have done a little bit better in the draft. Didn't get my top safety. Got a 4th round pick. So we'll see what happens there, but I am really excited about our new quarterback, Shadon Roseman. Excited to see him play, and I'm guessing he's going to be starting on day one. I thought maybe we would watch some preseason, but now I'm not sure we really have to. I guess we can just go to week one and see him make his debut. Unless the comments, I check the comments and it's like, give us preseason. We want those exhibition games. If there's enthusiasm for it, sure. Otherwise, we're going to week one. Do you think this team got better, though? Do you think we got better? We lost Justin Reed. We add Justin Johnson. I keep forgetting about this because it's not a pick that changes the defense. Our D-line was so good, adding Justin Johnson doesn't change it because it's already so stacked. But without a doubt, he can play, I think, all four spots. 6'4", 287. He's athletic enough, strong enough, skilled enough to play literally anywhere across the D-line. 90 strength. I mean, even in a 3-4 scheme, you can play him anywhere. You can play him at nose at 287 pounds. So we have the most versatile defensive lineman in the whole game at 94 overall, 26 years old. And I have no idea what I'm even doing with him. Let me know down below the role that Justin Johnson should play this year. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the first 50 episodes of support. Can't wait to see where this season goes. Please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Have a great day.